It's time, MacArthur Elementary School. Let's learn all about General Douglas MacArthur.
My little baby. Oh, little baby.
Yes, Douglas MacArthur, born January 26th, 1880. But before we get to talk about him, let's talk about 2 generations ago, his grandfather, Arthur MacArthur Sr. Arthur MacArthur Sr. was actually the 4th governor of the state of Wisconsin. Though he only served for 4 days, yes, 4 whole days for Arthur MacArthur Sr. as our governor. Now, Arthur MacArthur Jr. was Douglas's father. Arthur MacArthur Jr. would serve in the Civil War and also would earn himself a Medal of Honor. A Medal of Honor because during a very famous battle during the Civil War, somebody had dropped the flag and Arthur MacArthur picked it up and rallied the troops as they went forward against the enemy, yelling the famous phrase, "On Wisconsin." And all of that led to the man, the myth, the legend, Douglas MacArthur. Now, after living several places throughout the country, Douglas MacArthur attended West Point Military Academy, where he graduated in 1903 at the top of his class, and would go on to have a very successful military career.
Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums drum-tumming everywhere.
Douglas MacArthur served many different roles and positions in the United States Army before the start of World War I in Europe. In 1917, the United States joined the war, and MacArthur was sent to Europe, eventually earning the rank of Brigadier General, fought in many famous battles, and earned himself a number of awards during his time in Europe. After the war, Douglas MacArthur became the superintendent of West Point Military Academy. He married his first wife, Louise Cromwell Brooks. He became the youngest Major General in the Army. And he led the 1928 U.S. Olympic team in Amsterdam. He would also eventually become the Chief of Staff of the Army. In 1937, Douglas would marry Jean Faircloth, and in 1938, Arthur MacArthur IV would be born, their only son and the 4th person in their family named Arthur MacArthur. In 1941, the United States would be pulled into World War II, and at the time, MacArthur was stationed in the Philippines. When the Japanese entered the Philippines, MacArthur was forced to leave, vowing one day to return. And return he did. During World War II, Douglas MacArthur did something his father had previously done. He earned himself the military's highest honor, the Medal of Honor. He would lead troops in the Pacific Campaign of World War II, eventually signing the surrender documents from Japan in 1945. He would also stay in Japan until 1951. Douglas MacArthur would be called to duty one last time as the Korean War started in 1950. Douglas MacArthur would serve as the Supreme Commander of Allied Forces from 1950 until 1951.
That old soldiers never die. They just fade away.
Douglas MacArthur would return to the United States in 1951 and be hailed as an American hero for his dedication to his country. MacArthur would pass away in 1964, but he left behind a legacy of someone who was loyal, someone who was fair, someone who was responsible, and a respected leader. Let's take a look at a few more characteristics of General MacArthur, as these characteristics are the ones that we see in today's General MacArthur Award winners.